It's Miss Jenny again. I'm back to tell you a story, one more story before Easter about the legend of the Easter eggs. So we're coming up on the mystery of Easter. There's all kind of ways to get ready for Easter, and some of those ways are in church, and some of those ways are outside of church. And one of the ways to get ready for Easter outside of church is to decorate with Easter eggs. The trouble is, not everybody remembers or even knows the real meaning of the Easter egg, and they don't know the story. So let me tell you the story. Once there was a man and an old woman who lived on the outside the great city walls of Jerusalem, and they had everything that they needed there. They had a cow to give them milk. They had a garden to give them vegetables. They had trees that gave them apples and dates and other fruits. They had chickens that gave them eggs. In the morning, the old man would go down to his hen house, and he would say to the hens, "Good morning. May I have some eggs, please?" And they would gladly give him his eggs. And the old man and the woman ate all that they needed, and sometimes they had more eggs than they needed. And so the old man would take them to the city to sell. So one day, the man went into the city with a basket full of eggs. He had a white cloth that covered them. And when he went in through the great high gate, he walked along the narrow stone street. And as he came closer to the city, he noticed that there was a huge crowd, but they were strangely quiet. He pushed his way through the crowd with his basket of eggs to see what was going on. There were Roman soldiers who were taking 3 men through the city gates, just outside the city gates, to crucify them. The men were carrying the crosses that they were going to be nailed to. And one of the men stumbled, and he tripped, and he almost fell down. Well, the man couldn't help it. He reached out from the crowd, and he caught the heavy wooden cross just before the man stumbled and fell down. Together, they carried the cross all the way outside the city gates. Well, the man stayed there all afternoon, and even as the sky grew dark and it began to rain, he still stayed there. He watched the mother and some of the others standing by. They were all watching the man that was in the middle on the cross, and finally, he died. They took the man down and they carried him away to put him in a stone tomb. But this old man, he didn't follow. He started to go back towards the city. And when he went through the sad gate, he suddenly remembered his eggs. Where were they? He had hurriedly put them down. And then he remembered. They probably weren't going to be there. Eggs were important and precious to people who were hungry, and even people who weren't hungry would still want to take the eggs. So he turned the corner, and all of a sudden, he saw the place where he put down his basket, and it was there. He rubbed his eyes to look again. He could not even believe that it was still there, but it really was. The white cover was still on the basket, and he thought, surely somebody had taken the eggs underneath. And when he peeled the white to look in, he noticed something had changed. He couldn't believe his eyes. It was different, like a jewel. And he looked at the other eggs that were in the basket. They were beautiful with different colors and different designs. The eggs were trying to tell him something that day. They were trying to tell with colors and with lines all the things that had happened. And when the man went back and he told this story, people began to make and color and decorate their Easter eggs during Easter time. And they still do to this very day. Some don't even know why they do it, but you do. Here are some shapes of the eggs and some of the colors and some of the designs that the man used. There's crosses and flowers, a checkerboard and a ladder, some birds and fish, a cross, a butterfly, the sun, some squiggly lines, and a star. You could use some of these designs to make your own egg. You could take a piece of paper like this and fold it to make a little booklet. And use a shape like this to trace the egg on it. You could use some of these designs and decorate your egg on the front. And on the inside of your book, you could write what all the symbols and the colors mean. Your egg would look like the only way you can make it. It doesn't have to look like anybody else's egg. If you're not a reader or a writer yet, your mom or your dad or somebody with you could write down the meanings of the shapes and the colors that you use to decorate your egg. And when you finish with your booklet, you could take another piece and decorate an egg just for you, or one that you could give away to somebody else. I wonder, which of these colors and designs do you like best? I wonder which of these colors or designs is the most important. I wonder if these are all the colors or all the designs that we need. Do we have too many? Or do we not have enough?